And we are back with yet another episode of R&R. It's Jamerson Ballard. I'm the host. What's happening? Yeah, back in this motherfucker again, bro, with another one. Um, I was supposed to do this yesterday, but due to inclement weather, I didn't feel like doing all that shit yesterday. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's a couple reasons why I decided I didn't want to do that yesterday. Not because I couldn't have, right? But mainly because I don't want to drive through the east side after a certain I mean, we all know that it's not you, it's the other driver. Cause we had some snow, some you know, it was the weather was toe up, and then the roads was kind of toe up. We was recovering and there's a ramp that concerns me a little bit that I thought I might not necessarily be able to, do safely. And I was going to probably have to take the route through the east side to get back to the crib. And I wasn't willing to do that. Yeah, I wasn't willing to do that. So because I wasn't willing to do that, I had to push the show back. But we're here now. All right. Um, so yeah, the title of today's show is Whose Leader Is This? Because I don't know if y'all been living under a rock, but there's a nigga named Paul Birdsong who concerns me, and he's supposedly I guess he was starting a chapter of the Black Panther Party out in Philadelphia. Which, first of all, where the fuck y'all been? Where the fuck the Black Panther Party been all this time anyway? Where the fuck y'all been hiding at? And I ain't, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But now we got this gray nigga that came out the woodwork and decided he was gonna be the face of the Black Panther Party, unbeknownst to nobody. Like, who the fuck is this nigga, man? And I know. It's like, is that a hater? Is that a hater? Is that a hatred? No. I am for the advancement of, my people, right? But you can tell a lot about a group by their leadership. And I have to give the wag of the finger of whoever gave this dude the green light to do whatever it is he's doing, because it looked like a nigga that I'm gonna explain my position later as we go through it, because I'm gonna show y'all some shit that tripped me out a little bit, and it looks a lot like a nigga that ain't got no daddy to me. A lot of that. A lot of that, a lot of that, a lot of. I'm gonna let y'all hear what the streets have to say about the shit. I mean, I got other shit to talk about. We gotta. It's a little bit of follow up with the Anton Daniels, Corey Holcomb situation. I mean, and I really, like I said, I try to get in here and do things that is gonna be positive for the group, right, as a whole, right. So that's I'm addressing this because there might be some of you out there who actually might be fit to lead. And I if I agree with Tariq on the level, like if we just stick by the code, we can do this leaderless. However, there are individuals who feel like they want to, that there needs to be a leader, and there's people that desire to be a leader. But let me let you know something, bro. If you're the leader, a lot of times you won't have to go out your way to try to be proclaimed as such. It's not really something that you could go get. I mean, not that you can't go get, but it's not something that it's got to be in you, not on you. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people uh jump from group to group, and they feel like their manhood is attached to who or what they belong to. When in reality, it's got to be there, irregardless to whom or what. And I tell a lot of you, General, that especially you that decide that you want to get into fraternities and sororities, you know what I mean? You have to be careful. I mean, I'm not down in the Divine Nine or any of that. I'm just saying, like, you know, I was fortunate enough not to become a part of a gang. So I'm what you would call a neutron. And that's by choice, not because I wasn't approached by, groups, but I'm not gonna say I march to the tune of my own drum or anything like that, but I just not eager to be involved with nobody else's. I don't need. I'm an army of one. All right. I don't need a group of people to belong to or to feel like a man. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of you need to get a hold of that game right now before you become whoever you trying to be. Uh, because not having a father is a detriment to the black community. And a lot of young men, the realest nigga they know is their mama. The realest nigga in their life is their mama, and that's the problem. I was telling somebody that not too long ago. That's the problem, bro. A lot of you niggas ain't never seen how a man get down, and so it would be unfortunate if the person that they selected as a leader has been the product of a single parent family, whereas the primary parent for the male child is a female. Because it's been my conjecture that unless you've had a father, you won't be able to lead appropriately. Now you have somebody following you around and you can, possibly lead them to something. But I don't think that because you have a lot of people have to see it in order to become it, right? And a lot of you, it's a majority of you have not seen it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like when you get under pressure and you have things that happen, you'll respond, and I say respond because you won't respond. You'll react the way you've you've seen. I mean, that's the only thing you'll know how to do is react the way you've seen other people react. And when your mother is your primary and you see her respond badly to bad news about bills getting cut off or having to be held accountable for something that she may have done wrong, you're not going to you're not going to grasp how that's supposed to look if you haven't been trained by a man and how to do so. And I say trained, but even if you've seen a man, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you have the right information. It's just the fact that you've at least seen it, but they can also be bad examples of what not to do. You understand what I'm saying? But at least you've seen, hopefully, uh, some type of rendition of what it looks like to be disappointed and you don't respond like a with emotion. But if you haven't had that, that's all you're gonna do. That's why your hands on your hip right now. That's why whenever you get into it, your voice start getting louder, louder. The pitch go up, and the higher your pitch is, the I had to tell a nigga, bro, the louder you get, the that means you're losing. You're in a you're getting loud in a verbal exchange. Usually, it's because you're losing, and the louder you get, the more you're losing, and it just don't look right. It don't look right for a man to be yelling at the top of his lungs. When if it was something that made you that angry to where you want to raise your voice, you just do something about it. But anyway, I'm not necessarily saying that you should just be fighting all that shit. I'm just saying, like, if somebody disrespects you in a way that makes you feel like you need to say something about it, you can say something about it. But then if it proceeds or persists, then there's something that has to be done after that. Whatever that is, there has to be a consequence after that. If not, then you sitting there arguing like a lady. And I use the word lady like very loosely. It's not a lady. It's a female. It's a female on the lower end of the spectrum. Anyway, so we got this gray nigga walking around, and I'm hearing he might even be Latino. Look, I seen the group. I ain't gonna, it was a group of dudes later on that I seen, but it was one clip I seen where this dude has had a bunch of different color individuals around him, and they wasn't looking like they was gonna stand on no type of business, bro. Not none. And I'm just, they want us to be involved with this migrant situation so badly. But it's like, hold your own nuts, bro. You was talking that shit, and now that this, they not tripping off us. They not looking for us. You can prove you're an American citizen. You good. You know your rights. There shouldn't be no issues. But they not feeling like they. I mean, they're hiding amongst us. They're probably making life harder for us than by them and by they. I mean, you know, the illegals. I seen one dude. He was like, he had his nigga costume on, bro. Put on some dreads and a hoodie, and he was trying to look like, I heard they moving to the north side. They leaving the south side where they was comfortable and sliding up under us and amongst us so they can hide and have some type of safety. But now they bring in another type of heat. Well, you already got the police per se, but now ICE and they don't even get along. The ICE and the police, they ain't fucking with each other at all. Like, a lot of local individuals are police have been instructed not to assist ICE in nothing. So I don't know what that's about, but again, we're gonna look at a few videos of this individual bird song. Some of it is gonna be with him uh, under pressure, and we're gonna see how he move. And I'm just like, y'all judge for yourself, but I can't see. I mean, because bro went from, you'll see, he went from a gang member, which I mean, whatever. But apparently, he made the gang up. Got pressed by the power rules not to, what I mean, not to keep using a banner because he done made up some set out in Lansing, Michigan, and then he go from that to he create. It looked like he created his own party. But I guess he did go to the Black Panther Party and apply. I don't know if his application got rejected. But now they over a different group called the Black Lion something. So woo, it's a lot of nonsensical bullshit, and we're gonna talk about some real shit too, some real shit. When we get the worldview, so stay tuned. You know, this is actually comical to me because I've been you know instructing people on how not to be this nigga, and they went and got him and made him the leader of something that we all look up to. So let's just look at this individual. I mean, people are calling this dude agent and all kind of shit. Like, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna say the jury is still out. For me, I disapprove, right? But you know, we'll see. Let me see. Let me share my screen. What the carnations is going on here? Mm, 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 mm. I think this is where I want to start.
Black Panthers don't talk like that.
Very concerning. Very concerning. And that's the first time I've seen that video. It's alarming to see that type of video. And definitely we have.
Everybody's like, you don't know what you're talking about. You just a black man trying to hold another black man down. You a black man trying to just separate black people. No, I said, I know fucking frauds when I see one. The Black Panthers don't talk like that.
Very concerning. Very concerning. And that's the first time I've seen that video. It's alarming. To see that type of video. And definitely we have some great partnerships with our federal partners, our state partners. Would like to get a copy of that video and make sure we do a deep dive and for proper understanding.
It seems that he was bringing this rhythm to Lansing, and the news reports talk about the start of gangs in Lansing, Michigan. They talk about the graffiti in Lansing, Michigan. And it's funny how he talks about how he was doing graffiti and how he's from the West Side and all of this weird stuff as it relates to gang affiliation. But
yeah, go back and listen to the part where the news article was being read. And once you listen to it, he talks about in his music and in his graffiti and all this shit. When you go watch Moore's TVs, trust me, I don't like playing people's entire video on my channel because I don't like stealing other people's content. But what I'll do is I'll get a little bit of it to give you my take on it, so you know how I feel. And then when you go watch Moore's TV, where you're gonna be like, man, dude, we ain't know this dude was that damn fake. This motherfucker out here talk about spray painting shit and graffiti and all this, and then he on a video with Black Panther going, you know, I never had no gang. I don't have to prove if I wasn't in the gang or if I wasn't a gang. I don't have to prove none of that. Motherfucker, the internet is forever.
It seems that the news saying that the gang affiliation or the gang activity started very recent. And it seems to start at the same time when he started talking about gang activity, trying to promote his music.
Hey, bud, look at homie wearing all blue. Look at homie stacking at us from across the street. Hey, blood tripping. Check this. Hey, what up, homie? Hey, why don't you let me connect my B with your C and you crip walking, not blood walking. We do that right in front of one time while you over there at the corner scoping us.
And that, my friend, is your Black Panther party leader. We told y'all that dude was Blanco Panther. His ass ain't no Black Panther. He over here fake rapping, act like a fake ass blood, but then he gonna tell people he ain't never been in no gang. That's because the Pyrus checked his ass and said, hey, stop using our shit. We hear you up in Michigan acting like you a Pyru. You ain't no damn Pyru. We don't know who you are. So now well, I'm actually Black Panther now. I'm a Black Panther party for self-defense, yeah. And they actually asked me to start the party. They contacted me and said that to start this party to keep it going. I don't believe that shit. They don't know nothing about this dude. He just making shit up as he goes along.
Well,
Crazy to me.
Ain't no fucking way.
Then when you look at all of the background that comes with him saying that he is a part of a gang or he's a blood and he's a Pyru, he's throwing up hand signals, he's throwing up the rag, the flag, and he's even trying to do the blood walk, if that's what you call it. I mean, he's all over the place with it. But let's get serious. But it seems that he was the one to bring it to Lansing, and once it was in Lansing, Michigan, it seemed like he tucked his tail and ran. But before he tucked his tail and ran, he also was an activist, and this activist that in this activism, if you will, that he was participating in was We the Free People of Lansing.
Paul Birdsong has been doing an excellent job making sure our voices are heard.
So you hear that weak ass cheerleading shit in the background? It was all, Paul Birdsong is doing a great job in making sure our voices are heard. Because now he's with We the People of Lansing. He's with the new activist group. So he quit being a blood and decided to be a community activist. So you go from being a gang member to now being a community activist. But watch how they do their activism. It's very close to what we see right now.
Making sure we know that our voice matters. He's not in charge. He's
Okay, so this bro under some pressure where, you know, he might have to make a decision that will make things a little uncomfortable. Let's see.
us. We all take group votes on everything. We are the people for the people. All power to the people.
Now in this next clip, you're going to see Paul Birdsong on the loudspeaker, surrounded by some idiots that he's got with him, with shotguns and rifles, dealing with this dude on a motorcycle who was just trying to get from point A to point B. Dude just trying to get through. But they like, oh, well, you can't cut through here because we said so. We run the streets. So they doing gang shit, but calling themselves activists. Why don't you just let the dude cut through on his motorcycle? Let me let you listen to this shit.
You're not going that way. You're not going this way. This way is not an option.
All right, go up there.
That's a friendly process only. If you're going to run us over, I'm going to protect my car. I'm going to protect my car. No, you can't run anywhere in this direction. You can run that way once we leave, because we got cars behind us right here. But you can't. You see, the problem is.
I mean, look, are you?
We told you stop the red engine. Hold on, stop. When you told you stop the red engine, that's a threat to us because people try to drive through us.
Did you hear that? I wanted you to hear that part, and I'm going to play it again. He said, when you rev the engine, that was a threat to us. This is the same dude right now talking about Renee Good, but she revved her engine, and it was a threat to the ICE officer. And what happened? She went forward, she got shot. But this dude right there, they all got shot. Oh, when you rev the engine, that's a threat to us. But here we are in 2026 with people saying her revving the engine ain't no threat. Her revving the engine is her trying to just get away. But here they are, the same people protesting that shit right now. Just said in this video, when you rev that engine, that's a threat to us. And now look at his stupid ass.
When you told you stop the red engine, that's a threat to us because people try to drive through us.
And he clearly said, when you rev that engine, it's a threat to us because you might try to drive through us. Is that not what we were saying about the Renee Good situation? Is that not what we just said? And here this Black Panther is protesting against his own shit because he said it to that guy.
So he credibility shot right there.
Grabbing your engine, you're threatening us. We're going to kill you because you might run through us. And now his ass is more power to the people, no power to the pigs. Man, fuck that dude. He fake as shit.
So at the end of the day, all of this stuff is all over the place, So yes, it appears that he was demonstrating some type of blood pyru behavior. Is it authentic? It doesn't seem that way. Could I be wrong? Of course I could be wrong. When you look at his track record, most people that has gang affiliation, and I don't want to be stereotypical because I have friends that that travel in those circles, so I don't want to be superficial, nor do I want to be stereotypical. But most people that travel in those circles, they normally have some form of criminal record. They normally have some type of infractions that is easy to find. With this guy, I can find nothing. I mean, I can find traffic violations. It reminds me of Tariq Nasheed.
So there you have it. You got a fake ass thug who ain't even a real gangster. Then he lies and said he wasn't even in a gang. Now he's running around the streets telling people, don't rev your engine because we might shoot you because we don't know what you're going to do. You're threatening us. Now he's the Black Panther Party for self-defense, and we're going to shoot police officers and we're going to kill ICE and blow holes in ICE. This dude ain't got shit but traffic tickets, walking around pumping his chest out like he all tough shit. Look at our rifles. Look at our rifles. I'm like, bro, they got drones. They got snipers. You walking around with a rifle, you get shot from 300-400 feet away and not even know it's coming. Man, and you got idiots on this internet believing that dude was for real. And I'm sitting there dropping videos going, he's fake as shit. I had to go find videos to prove he was fake. I didn't even know this shit existed. I had to go find proof that he was fake because I said, he's fake. Black Panthers don't act like that. He's Blanco Panther. He ain't even real. And everybody like, oh, you just a black man holding a black man down. You all know you just trying to divide black people. I said, no, I know fake shit. I know fake shit. I'm not slow. I'm not on the short bus. I'm 52 years old. I'm pretty hip to what the fuck is going on around me. So when I see some,
I mean, and it's just like that, man. I mean, you know, niggas need to be called out. And, you know, your bullshit, man. I mean, hey, the nigga don't like he about to leave shit but the nigga to the refrigerator. Take you right to that motherfucker. I mean, gun on hip, you know, whatever, but I don't think bro been battle tested like that to be trying to be no leader. Now, there is somebody that, you know, sanction, bro. After I you know, I didn't know it was true. Because I mean, we heard the niece of Huey P. Newton go bad on her. And I'm gonna show y'all a video of that real quick. And we could talk about it, but it's crazy. Crazy. Great. Let me share my screen right quick. She called him right out. And I thought that was going to be it. It wasn't it, though.
I'm going to try to make this video as calmly as possible. My name is Maisha Newton. My father's name was Walter Newton. He was the brother of Huey Percy Newton, who started the Black Panther Party in Oakland, California. Okay? My handle name is Maisha 415 Newton.
Right.
If you don't believe me, we just came out with the second book, The Roots of the Revolutionary Suicide. This is the roots of Huey P. Newton, okay? That's my father, okay? These are our grandparents, okay? There go Huey right there, okay? I got birth certificate, paperwork, and a whole bunch of Newtons who are ready to, listen, this goes out to the Black Panther Party, the new United Black Panther Party, whoever's out there protesting with these Somalians. I'm about to get a cease and desist order against you, and I'm about to sue you because you guys are... You are not going to defame my uncle's name like that. We're not doing that. See you in court, bitches.
Huey P. Newton's niece, Maisha Newton, is calling out the Philly-based group, the Black Panther Party for self.
Right. Yeah. I got to get to some more shit, but all right, Brett said he was some vets.
123 North Bratz, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19121, January 31st at 12 noon to meet with myself and the reputable, notable Black Panther Party elders, original Black Panthers from the 60s that will be there to sit down with us, talk with us, and learn with us, grow with us, and also to authenticate us and to see who we are getting tutelage, lessons, guidance, understanding, and truth from. So that you guys know what elders we are actually dealing with, and you guys know what we are actually doing and why we're doing it. I invite everyone who has any questions pertaining to our authenticity.
And so that's supposed to be on the 31st, right? All right, so this who apparently actually sanctioned, bro, to do the Black Panther shit, which shocked the fuck out of me, actually.
Light.
To the public, in regards to Maisha Newton, Huey's son, me, I cleared the Philadelphia chapter. Second, You don't have no power and authority to file any form of thing to sue anything. You can't sue anything. Now, third, if you want to sue something or you want to help sue something, head Frederica Newton, and my father, Dr. Huey P. Newton, fight this Alameda Superior County probate case that's scheduled on February the 2nd, 2026. That's what you worry about, because you ain't got no power to do nothing else. And if anybody was going to try to sue anything dealing with the Black Panthers, the only person that probably could try something like that is Frederica. She can't do it because the trademark wiped up. So you just on here just talking. You know what I'm saying? Like,
The trademark is wiped out. I don't know what that means, but I mean, it sounds like the name, I guess, is tied up. They can't use it. Something is going on with that, right? But then it goes even further because bruh can't use the name. They done came up with a whole nother group, and see if I can find that. That's crazy as hell too. Uh, mm, I ain't got it pulled up. I have to go to I'd have to go in there and look for it right quick. Y'all give me a second. I'll pull it up. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy the lengths people go to be liked. You know, I can't I can't see it, but it's not that it don't happen. You know what I mean? People want to be accepted, man. They want to feel something. They want to be involved so bad. It just don't make no sense. It don't hardly make no sense at all. I'm really just trying to find a name. Yeah, bro, it's tripping. I ain't gonna do that. I'm just gonna look up the name. I think I got the name of it right here. Let me see. It is okay. The Black Line Party for International Solidarity. That's the name of the damn party. And this is all in Is That Right, which is brought to you in part by Kicks, the luxury shoe brand brought to you by yours truly. I will leave a link in the description box. Y'all can check those out. Feel free to grab any merch from me. I'm gonna have to drop the Etsy store in the area for y'all to get y'all merch. But if you see anything you like, you can always DM me until I get that jumping, and we can talk. Uh, but anyway, so yeah, the Black Lion International Party for a party for international. What it say again? Solidarity. And I ain't even mad at that. I ain't mad at that. I just you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it on him. But that's my opinion. I could be wrong. Brett said he going to classes. He could be getting the best training on how to be the best leader. You understand what I'm saying? Bro, ain't got no real criminal record from what we hear. I just don't like the fact that everything this dude jump into, he like crowbar himself into it. he don't really know what he want to do, and it just seemed like he just hopping from pillar to post, try to be accepted, and then I mean, the fact that he's on social media right now, uh, I guess is a testament to his level of commitment to what he's trying to do. But I mean, gangs are you know little revolutions that were spawned by the or inspired by the Black Panther Party, I would imagine. So but all that, I'm gonna put a hole in you like the size of a window, save light repairs, shut like, bro, shut up. You're not you're not tough like that, bro. You know, and I don't disagree with the people that are here working. You know, not I just if you're not doing nothing wrong, you should be able to come in the right way. You got in here on the wrong foot, you and they take you up out of here. You know, you got to come back in right. They did offer the option of self deport, so you could have came back, talked to your job, let them know like, look, man, I got here the wrong way. I'm gonna come back the right way. And do what you got to do. But motherfuckers don't want to do shit the right way. This dude don't want to do shit the right way. He don't want to go through the proper channel. It don't look like anyway to actually be something. At least in the past, he hasn't done that. And I've been saying this for a long time. And how a nigga do one thing is how a nigga do everything, pretty much. So why would I think for 1 minute that his leadership was gonna be top tier if he was deemed leader of that party? Everything they do is gonna be held together with glue and a shoestring, in the hopes of not getting busted out. You know what I mean? And you've been busted, bro. So the Black Lion uh party of international solidarity. I mean, I wish y'all the best, but it don't look like it's gonna be too much of nothing. And I could be wrong though. I almost hope that I am wrong, but I'm not finna go after and help another group when my people need help still. And I mean, we can't do that. You got to take care of home first. You going out to help other races do what they need to do, but we out here suffering still is backwards. And with your order of operations being out of order, that lets me know that your life is out of order. So you trying to lead somebody else in life when your life is out of order goes against everything wisdom teaches you. In the Bible, it says, get the plank out of your own eye before you get the plank out of your brother's. And that's not to say that you don't want to help somebody else, but you got to help yourself first. It don't make sense for you to go out and help somebody else fix their household when your household is in shambles. Okay? Class. Niggas in the back, do you hear me? Do you understand? Spirited, light-skinned niggas who have a lot of great, ideas and vigor and zeal to help people, or even just my people. You have to do what you need to do for you first before you can help somebody else. That's the way it goes. So that's all I got to say about that. I'm not gonna keep trying to, we got other shit to deal with. It's a lady who was supposedly the mastermind behind all that shit, that Somali shit going on in Minnesota, and she's not Somalian. No, 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 no. It's a Anglo-Saxon lady, and we're finna look at it because I forgot her name, but it's she's here, and we're gonna talk.
Years old, and she is not part of the Somali community. Last year, she was convicted of orchestrating a $250 million plot to defraud a government program to feed hungry kids. She spoke to CBS News Minnesota correspondent Jonah Kaplan, who joins us now. Jonah, good morning. We all want to hear what she has to say. Good morning to you.
Not really.
Gail, good morning. As you mentioned, there's been so much focus on the Somali community.
Let's just get to what the fuck she's talking about, because we ain't got all day.
Actions. We were allowed 1 hour to speak with Amy Bach over a video call from her Minnesota jail cell.
Now I can hear you, yes.
Until she was arrested in 2022, Bach led Feeding Our Future. The now infamous nonprofit signed up restaurants and caterers, many from Minnesota's large Somali community, to receive taxpayer money for providing meals to children in need.
During COVID, for obvious reasons, parents were allowed to come and pick up meals. So we suddenly were able to reach more children.
But prosecutors said it turned into something else, the nation's largest COVID-era fraud, with Bach as its mastermind. Are you the mastermind of this scheme?
Absolutely not. I believe in accountability. If I had done this, I would have pled guilty. I wouldn't have gone to trial. I wouldn't have put my children and my family through
Old face bitch, quit lying.
what we've been through. I've lost everything.
While Bach's attorney provided this video showing stacks of food, prosecutors say Bach and the businesses she recruited stole tens of millions of federal dollars, spending it on luxury cars, real estate ventures, and vacations.
I wish I could go back and do things differently, stop things, catch things. At that point in time, I believed we were doing everything in our power to protect the program.
But in 2021, Bach sued the state agency that oversaw the meal program, alleging its scrutiny of Somali applicants was, quote, discriminatory. How do you think state officials took that?
Nobody wants to be labeled as being racist.
Minnesota officials told a state watchdog the threat of legal consequences and negative media attention intimidated them into easing off.
The notion that a state government is paralyzed and has to allow this level of fraud because they were afraid of what I might do in a lawsuit is preposterous.
Help me welcome Amy Bach. In Minnesota's large Somali community, one leader called her a modern-day Robin Hood.
The community deserves this. The children need this.
In 2019, the nonprofit submitted $3 million worth of meal claims. 2 years later, it submitted nearly $200 million. All of a sudden, you're cutting $200 million worth of checks. How do you not see that as major red flags and keep this going?
We relied on the state. We told the state, this site is going to operate at this address, this day, this time, and this number of children. The state would then tell us that's approved.
Prosecutors also accused Bach of collecting bribes and kickbacks from meal site operators. At trial, they revealed text messages where she compared Feeding Our Future to the mob. Are you a mob boss?
Absolutely not. No.
Were you personally benefiting from any of it?
I collected my salary, and that was all that was collected.
Didn't federal agents find gold jewelry, cash in your closet?
They found minimal jewelry. I believe it was like 2 pair of earrings, a bracelet, a watch. There was some cash there.
At trial, Bach took the stand, but the jury didn't buy her story. Within hours, they convicted her on all counts. Last month, a judge ordered her to forfeit more than $5 million in proceeds from the fraud. Minnesota officials have defended their actions, noting that it was state employees who actually first contacted the FBI about implications in the fraud scheme. So far, 78 defendants connected to Feeding Our Future. Remember, just Feeding Our Future. There are other social service schemes at play. They have been charged, more than 60 pleading guilty or convicted at trial. Bach herself is awaiting sentencing, and she faces decades in prison. Vlad?
All right, Joe.
Shit. I mean, they got her. It looked like they felt like they got her, you know. She went through a jury of peers. They wasn't fucking with her motherfucking ass. And they got on her. So that's pretty much all I got for Is That Right? We're going to go into a section I like to call Celebrity Spotlight. Yeah. On Celebrity Spotlight, we bring you what's going on around the country when it comes to these damn celebrities, and sometimes around the world. The thing that is the most comical is, I don't know if y'all seen it, but Adam 22 had got, in a celebrity fight with the dude that the porn star that fucked his wife, Jason Love. And we got it here so you can see what didn't happen. Because what didn't happen was it was really pathetic. I'll tell you that right now. It didn't look like it was. I don't know how much they paid to see this, but you paid to see this. You was probably mad. Fight didn't last that long, and Brad, I'm trying not to spoil it, but Adam 22 ain't got no motherfucking hands, bro. It's ridiculous. I'm finna let y'all see. Y'all finna see. Y'all finna see exactly what I'm talking about.
Let's go. 22 stars.
He good at slanging meat. Every can't slang.
Going down.
All right, here we go.
Hey, let me tell you why.
He's nervous. You got Jason. I'm gonna tell you why. The BBC.
If a nigga make your bitch eyes roll in the back of her head, he gonna fuck you up.
He was doing it flat.
I watched the video.
He was doing
Wait, you watched it? Ain't no fight back. Let's go, Adam.
Let's go, Adam.
It's going down. Look at
Let's go.
now. I got to see the
Listen.
Listen, let you know right now. Let you know we got our bet.
Go, Todd. Oh, shit.
Never let a man fuck your bitch.
Never let a man fuck your bitch.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Never.
No. No way.
Oh.
Wait. No.
This ain't going long.
Oh my
Yo, he practices score punch.
Yeah.
Can't take a punch.
Bro, Adam, what are you doing?
It's going down. This is all part of the plan.
Black set him up.
This is all part of the plan.
Black set him up.
Black, you set him up.
No, I didn't.
You didn't get a good training.
This is all part of the plan.
He didn't. Yo, what the fuck?
No fighting. I just call my kid. That's the whole fight. Yeah, that's the whole fight.
Come on, Adam. What is that? Go, 22.
Yeah, actually, not that far off.
It was at this
Hey,
moment.
Hey, listen, bro.
Probably got close to saying, but not got like 3 pounds off.
Oh, my God.
Got to swing back. This is all a setup. This is all a setup.
That's it. Hey, down.
And I fucked you up.
That's the whole fight right there. What was that?
What happened? What happened?
That was ridiculous. Yeah, that was actually pathetic. So what's up with it, man? That was the fight between Jason Love and Adam 22. Horrible. But not as horrible as some of this other shit. Now, I don't know if y'all know who Duke the Jeweler was. We remember what happened to Takeoff, right? Out there with the Prince, with the Prince situation, Jay Princeton Jr., that is. And I think they went and got Jay Prince Jr. in connection with Duke the Jeweler's murder. Apparently they had like a whole scheme going with people when they came out there to Texas to do their thing. I think it's in Houston. They get introduced, shown around and then they get played on the dice game. But Duke the jeweler ended up getting the hot dice that they had, and we'll let them go into it a little bit more on the second half of Celebrity Spotlight. Yeah, they got old Jay Prince Jr., man. They arrested him. I don't know what's gonna happen to him.
Really couldn't get him. That's why they had to come on, homie. You go if you coming in to check in and you got to stay with this group and they taking you around, they ain't taking you around and introduce you to people. They taking you around so everybody get a piece of you.
Houston police say the guards saw two men in masks with guns approach the victim who was parked in the parking lot around 3 o'clock.
Jay Prince Jr. has been allegedly under investigation for the murder of Duke the jeweler after trying to scam him. Love for what you're doing. Let me show you some Houston hospitality. Bro, he's literally using his father's reputation as
Let's go a little bit further in. I'm trying to get
he had money, he had connections, and he was living that lifestyle that made him a perfect target for Jay Prince Jr. When Duke came to Houston, bro got the full treatment. Jay Prince Jr. personally showed him around the city, took him to exclusive spots, introduced him to local celebrities. Duke was feeling the love, thinking he found genuine friendship in Houston. He had no idea he was being set up. So after a night of partying, Jay Prince Jr. suggests they shoot some dice. Duke's feeling good, trusting his new friends, ready to have some fun. He thought this was just another part of that Houston experience, you feel me? But yo, here's where the story gets absolutely wild. So they at this dice game, and something went catastrophically wrong that night. What if I told you someone in Jay Prince Jr.'s crew made a critical error? They accidentally passed the loaded dice to Duke instead of keeping them with their designated crew members? Bro, Duke started hitting, and he started hitting hard. We talking about him winning hundreds of thousands of dollars from Jay Prince Jr.'s crew. In a legitimate game, this would just be good luck. But in a rigged operation, this was a complete disaster. The crew was watching their own loaded dice being used against them, and there was nothing they could do about it without exposing the entire scam. They couldn't accuse Duke of cheating because they were the ones with the loaded dice. They couldn't stop the game without raising suspicion. Bro, they were trapped by their own system. As Duke kept winning, you could see the crew getting more and more frustrated. This wasn't supposed to happen. The loaded dice were supposed to guarantee their victory, not hand hundreds of thousands of dollars to their mark. But Duke had no idea what was happening. He thought he was just having an incredible night of luck. He was excited, grateful to his new friends for including him in such a profitable night. Bro had no idea that he just signed his own death warrant. That's actually insane when you think about it. Now here's where this story gets dark, and I mean dark. The crew couldn't just let Duke walk away with their money, not because it was legitimately theirs, but because letting word get out that their operation could be beaten would destroy their entire business model. They needed that money back, and they needed to make sure Duke couldn't tell anyone what happened. So they came up with a plan, and y'all are not ready for how calculated this was. They invited Duke to a Lil Boozy concert that same night. Yo, come through to this show. We'll celebrate your big win. Duke thought he was going to party with his new friends. He had no idea he was walking into an execution. At the concert, Duke was in a great mood. He was flashing his jewelry, showing off his designer bags, and yes, he had that bag of cash from his dice game winnings. Bro was having the time of his life, completely unaware that he was being watched and that a plan was being put into motion. The crew used the concert as an opportunity to study Duke's movements, identify when he'd be most vulnerable, and coordinate their attack. They weren't just planning a robbery, gang. They were planning a murder disguised as a robbery. That's actually crazy. After the show ended, Duke walked to his car alone. That's when they made their move. Multiple attackers approached him in the parking lot demanding their money back, but Duke wasn't going for it. He knew he won that money fair and square, and he was ready to fight for it. But here's what makes this even more sinister. Duke's refusal to hand over the money sealed his fate. The attackers couldn't afford to let him live after he'd seen their faces and knew about their operation. They shot Duke multiple times, killing him in that parking lot. And yo, here's the part that proves this wasn't just a random robbery. They left all his jewelry on him. Duke was wearing hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of chains, watches, and rings, but the Killers only took the cash from the dice game. This wasn't a robbery gone wrong. This was a targeted execution to recover specific money and eliminate a witness. Duke the jeweler died because he accidentally won money that was never supposed to be winnable. He died because a criminal organization couldn't afford to let their scam be exposed. Bro died because J. Prince Jr.'s greed was more important than human life. That's actually insane.
Yeah, them AI videos be irritating the fuck out of me, man. But yeah, that was what went on, man. And so they went and got him. And I don't know what it's gonna look like for him. Because you know, the conspiracy charge is just as bad as the actual charge, you know. And I could sit there and break it down for you, but I'm just saying, like, if you and somebody else conspire to do a crime and somebody actually goes through with the crime, even though you didn't do it yourself, you didn't talk the person out of doing it, and they told you they was going to do it, and they went and did it, you are, if you didn't try to talk them out of it, you conspired to commit murder, and that person come up dead, you are to blame also, unless you can prove otherwise. And that's the conspiracy charge. So that's crazy, man. R.I.P. Duke the jeweler. And you know, I don't know if he should have gave the money back. Of course, in hindsight, you know, he didn't know. You know what I mean? He didn't know. But I don't get down. I don't gamble. I had a partner that was like, man, why ain't no black jewelers? Well, there was one. And they left all this jewelry on it. They didn't want that. I mean, they could have just took the jewelry and hocked the jewelry and then used that money to get back, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know why they wouldn't want nobody to win sometimes. If people win sometimes, that's good and people want to play. My mom always told me if you don't if you don't, I don't know if I want to say if you don't let them win, but yeah, I guess so. If you don't let people win sometime, but nobody want to play with you. So, at any rate, you can't win all the time. You gotta let some of them slide in order to continue to get people to play with. But anyway, that's all I got pretty much for Celebrity Spotlight. Next up is Worldview. Worldview is pretty interesting today. It's actually scary as fuck. Yeah. We're gonna talk a little bit about the Trump shit because Trump dropped something that I thought was pretty interesting. And after that, we get into the scary shit. So stay tuned. Don't fall asleep during this portion of the show. Because it's important to know. I know a lot of niggas don't feel like they need to know what's going on around them. But it's important. So Trump apparently started this. They went to the EU at the beginning of the year every year. Or the WEF, World Economic Forum, where they figure out how they're gonna control the world this year. And they got a new thing out now, and it's called the what is I'm gonna play the video of what it is, but it's Trump started as something else, and I can't think of the name right off the top of my head. They say Trump built the New World Order. But let's just go to the video right quick to keep me from looking crazy because I ain't want to look it up. It's gonna say it. It's going to say it. Let's see. Let's see what we got here.
Trump's New World Order. France was invited. They said no. Germany was invited. They said no. The UK, Canada, Italy, Sweden, Norway, all invited, all refused. Trump didn't beg, didn't negotiate, didn't wait. He launched it anyway. And once this board is formed, he said, we can do pretty much whatever we want to do. 25 countries said yes. The richest European economies said no. And now they're standing outside a room they chose not to enter. The United Nations took 80 years to build. Trump just built a replacement in 18 months. It's called the Board of Peace. He's chairman for life. $1 billion for a permanent
That's
seat.
the name of it.
And Europe, they're not at the table.
Board of Peace. And they say $1 billion to get in. Okay? Let's keep that in mind.
Not because they weren't invited, because they refused to sit down. By the end of this video, you'll see what's in the charter that terrified European leaders who actually joined, and why this week might be the moment America stopped pretending it needs the old world order. But first, there's a detail about Trump's position in this organization that made European lawyers lose their minds. When you see it, you'll understand why France called it a threat to everything built since 1945. Here's what most people missed. The charter is 11 pages, signed in Davos on January 22nd, 2026. It was supposed to be about Gaza. That's how the UN approved it back in November, rebuilding the Strip, humanitarian aid, demilitarization. But the document that landed on world leaders' desks, Gaza isn't mentioned, not once. Instead, a blueprint for something much bigger. An organization that seeks to promote stability, restore dependable and lawful governance, and secure enduring peace in areas affected or threatened by conflict. Areas, plural, anywhere on Earth. Marco Rubio stood at the podium and said, the possibilities are endless. Endless. That's the word he used. Not focused, not limited, endless. Now here's the part that sent European diplomats scrambling. The charter names one person, only one, in the entire 11 pages, Chairman Trump. Not the President of the United States, not a rotating chair, not an elected leader. Chairman Trump, specifically, by name. And here's how you remove him. You don't. The charter says Trump can only leave through voluntary resignation or as a result of incapacity, as determined by a unanimous vote of the executive board. Unanimous.
Everybody got to agree that he is too crazy to do this shit, or he get old and die. He is the chairman of this shit. And for a lot of people, that might be kind of scary. But Trump is doing a lot of aggressive shit that I think we should have been doing. A lot of y'all might not understand what's going on with the Greenland thing. You might not give a fuck. But Greenland is becoming more and more valuable as a trade route the more global warming hits. Because at the top, and I didn't get to talk about this last, but at the top there's a space where they could deliver like a canal. Whereas normally you'd have to go to the bottom of Africa and up and around to get to the other side of Europe. You can go from America or Canada over the top, and it's way less time, way cheaper. But we wanted to control it, and then we didn't want nobody over the top of us trying to aim at us and do nothing to us. And Trump was like, it'll be easier to protect if we just own Greenland. It was like a state or whatever. And I think they came to an agreement. They're saying that America already had the power to do whatever they wanted up there, but I think they need to finalize some more shit. But yeah, so they got the Board of Peace. 25 countries came in. A lot of Europe countries didn't. And that happened. I don't know if anybody in the back gives a fuck about that part, but it's some shit that's out now that you should give a fuck about, and it's a little bit scary because it's a disease, yeah, and it's called NIPAH, NIPA, and I'm gonna let this very Indian guy tell you more about it, but you need to pay attention to this shit because if it spreads, and it's easy to spread, apparently it's not too hard to spread this shit. It can be deadly. So let's let this man tell us what the fuck is going on. This new fucking disease. It scared the shit out of me. I ain't like this shit at all. And I don't like to be the bearer of bad news, but you heard it here first. If you ain't heard the shit, you need to know. It's a 4-minute video. We don't listen to all of it, but
The death rate from Nipah can range from 73% to 91%. The initial symptoms are fever, body ache, headache, but in people who develop brain infection after that, they may get seizures or epilepsy, confusion, paralysis, or coma.
Crazy. Ain't got super
The Nipah virus circulates freely among bats, and they don't seem to die from it. But when human beings come into contact with bats, either directly or indirectly, the virus may accidentally jump into man. The virus can cause a severe form of brain infection or a pneumonia, both of which carry a very high fatality rate. The death rate from Nipah can range from 73% to 91%. The initial symptoms are fever, body ache, headache, but in people who develop brain infection after that, they may get seizures or epilepsy, confusion, paralysis, or
Wait,
coma.
so the death rate of this shit is 73 to 91%. It's a 91% chance at the highest that you're gonna die from this shit. Brain tumor. If you get a brain infection, you get coma and
The symptoms are similar to other types of brain infection caused by other viruses. Sometimes the diagnosis of Nipah can be missed because it is not specifically tested for. The problem with Nipah is that it can also spread from patient to patient. So it's extremely important to identify the first patient who develops the infection. Unfortunately, in many cases, the first patient is either very ill or may have died by the time the diagnosis is ascertained, which means this person may have passed on this virus to other people. And
it's starting in bats, so it jumps from bats to people, which is why is you fucking with bats? Why is you over there by the bats?
these other people, if they develop symptoms like cough, vomiting, or seizures and get admitted to a hospital, sometimes people who treat this person, like nurses or doctors or other hospital staff, may also get infected. Other caregivers at the patient's home who tend to the patient's body fluids can also get infected. Therefore, it is extremely important, one, to make an early diagnosis, two, to isolate a patient, and three, to treat the patient with standard precautions such as masks and gloves. Even more important is to track the contacts of these patients because Nipah virus can jump from person to person and can cause a potentially fatal infection, which is why.
So you got to keep up with the people that this people in contacted. Once you find out that they had the shit, and by then it might be too late for anybody that come in contact with this person. People that are in the health field are particularly vulnerable because the people that give care to this person while they're trying to figure out what he got may give you what he got because you handling piss pans and vomit or whatever, and it sounds like some modern day zombie shit, man. It's really scary, bro. This ain't designed to scare you. This is just to let you know what's going on. You feel me? Let's continue.
Contact tracing is of great value in limiting the size of the outbreak. Fortunately, unlike COVID, Nipah does not have the ability to spread fast from person to person. Typically, it occurs through very close bodily contact or by handling the person's body fluids or exposure to the person's body fluids. Unfortunately, Nipah virus has no effective antiviral treatment or vaccine that are available. Therefore, the treatment measures are only supportive and it is extremely important to limit the size of the outbreak prevent the virus from spreading far and wide to many people. This is
So they ain't got no vaccine enough for it yet, and it's probably where it's gonna be some bullshit, depending on how fast it spreads. Because it's already like overseas right now. Let me see if I can say any more groundbreaking shit before I get off of this.
why contact tracing is so valuable. Nipah is one of several viruses that may accidentally jump from animals to man, and this category of disease is called a zoonosis. A common zoonosis that we are all familiar with is rabies. It commonly circulates in wild foxes that may come into contact with dogs while searching for food in the border areas of the jungle. And these viruses circulate in stray dogs, and they can also jump onto pet cats and pet dogs, especially if they're not vaccinated. Rabies virus jumps to human beings as a result of a dog bite. And if first aid and vaccination is not administered, the person may go on to develop rabies. And if the person develops rabies, it is invariably fatal.
So that's just rabies. But he was using that as an example of other diseases that are xenophobias or some shit like that, where they jump from animals to people. And that's pretty much all I got for Worldview, man. NIPA, you seen it, look it up, figure out how to arm yourselves. But you know, being that it's overseas, sometimes we don't necessarily get that shit over here. They always find some time of year to do something crazy with a third world country disease and get everybody all scared, because they usually do that shit with, like, what is that shit they call? I just almost had it. Ebola. That's the one. They'll do that shit with Ebola or some shit every now and then. It's crazy, bro. But this shit sounds scary. They've been, like, I don't know if they were trying to find another animal human disease that they can use to scare people. But they've been fucked with the bats again, and they got that. So that's what they came up with. Now, on another segment I like to call "Don't Be a Weirdo." I don't want to use that one for that. I haven't found another sound effect to use for that. Because I would use the boo one. But anyway, who got "Don't Be a Weirdo" is brought to you. I don't know if I want to use that. So let's just, they haven't gotten a sponsor yet. But in my findings, there's a trial of 3 brothers that were all into this shit together, and they who I've got for, the weirdos of the week. So I didn't get their names. It's pretty simple, but we're gonna look at that real quick, and those are the people that I got for "Don't Be a Weirdo." Let's look at this crazy ass shit, man.
Trial of the Alexander brothers got underway in a Manhattan courtroom today. There are 3 brothers, 2 of them made millions selling high-end properties across the country. The 2 luxury brokers and their other sibling are accused of drugging and sexually assaulting more than a dozen women from the Hamptons to Miami Beach.
Looking at these 3 guys, I can almost tell you this by looking at them whose idea it probably was. The nigga with no eyebrows. These other 2, they actually look like they can get bitches. So maybe this, and I could be wrong. You're not supposed to judge a book by its cover. It might have been this motherfucker right here. He might have been the mastermind of the whole thing. But right now, to me, this motherfucker looking weird as hell. Like he had this, came up with this one night, and these 2 goofy motherfuckers went along with it. But let's proceed.
News 4's Erica Byfield, live in Lower Manhattan now with what we learned from opening statements today. Erica.
That's right, Adam. Today, prosecutors painted a dark picture accusing all three of these brothers of sexual abuse. The defense did not shy away from these allegations. They tackled them head on. They said that the sex happened, but they say it was not criminal. The Alexander brothers are on trial. Twin brothers Alon and Oren, along with their older brother Tal, charged with sex trafficking, sexual abuse, and sexual exploitation of a minor. During Tuesday's opening statements, a prosecutor told jurors this case is about three.
So the one with no eyebrows is the oldest. That sound more like he was the one to come up with this bullshit. But go ahead.
Brothers who worked to rape women and girls, woman after woman, girl after girl. According to prosecutors, the brothers used a so-called playbook, inviting women to parties and trips before allegedly using drugs or force to carry out the assaults because they were going to have sex with their victims no matter what. The government claims that the youngest alleged victim was just 16 years old. Prosecutors say that the alleged abuse occurred in Manhattan, the Hamptons, Miami, and internationally, involving dozens of victims over 13 years. They told the jurors that they plan to present testimony, photos, videos, text messages, and travel records. The government described the brothers as partners in crime, alleging that in some cases the assaults happened simultaneously. Each man has a separate defense team. All of them urged the jurors to acquit the brothers, arguing that the government is telling a monster story, but the truth is more ordinary, suggesting that prosecutors are going after the men for criminalizing the hookup culture. Oren Alexander's attorney acknowledged in the past arrogance in his 20s and said that he was a womanizer, playboy, but he is not a sex trafficker. The defense also challenged the credibility of the accusers, suggesting that their accounts have changed, saying that this case boils down to shame, opportunity, and money. Some of the accusers have also filed civil lawsuits. The defense implored the jurors to use common sense and suggested they will have reasonable doubts. So the jurors are getting ready to head home because the judge told them that everything was going to wrap up today at 5 o'clock. After those openings occurred this morning, after that, in the afternoon, that's when we saw our very first witness take the stand. She was an accuser in this case. She talked about what she says happened to her. She went into detail. She was emotional on the stand. She says at one point she told one of the brothers no, but he kept assaulting her. More on that coming up at 6. Erica.
Damn, bro. That shit crazy. So the Alexander brothers are our weirdos of the week. And don't be a weirdo, bro. It's just, I'm tired of saying it. 16, why are you after 16-year-old girls, bro? We in the major leagues. Y'all still playing in the minors. That shit is against the rules. And the last but not least is who got active. And so today's, we can plot that. Today's segment is who got active is brought to you by Acquisition. Acquisition is a unisex fragrance brought to you by yours truly. That is now for sale. So give me shoot me a DM. We'll get you some of that, a sample or something, so you can see what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's go into who got active. Today we got like a store owner, and it's been cold as fuck, because of the winter storm that they was bigging up so much. But we got a guy that went above me on, and it was for one of his customers, but he still did it, so we got to get it. He didn't have to do it.
We began with our Trevor Sahaki and a story of life-saving kindness you will only see right here on CBS News Texas on this evening. Trevor?
Steve, good evening. It was a question that a lot of us had going into this winter storm. Where would the unhoused community stay? While many of them did find shelter, a woman who stays right around here by this food mart in South Fort Worth, she was outside all night.
When I heard her name, it was one of my good customers.
So I instantly was like, hey, man, no, there's no way. We got to go help her right now.
And Ferris Hussein jumped into action this morning to help save one of his regulars, a homeless woman he knows as Bobby. Another regular found her frozen on the street, but only Ferris could lift her up.
She felt like a rock, as stiff as a rock. I mean, it was, when I picked her up, her entire body was just, it was like no matter which way you picked her up, her body was going to stay the same form.
Once Bobby got inside, she warmed up and started thanking everyone, saying she was outside all night. Eventually, police and paramedics came and took her to the hospital.
I don't really consider myself a hero or nothing, but we do this on a daily for our community. Doing it once in a while, it's not going to cut it. That's just, you know, we do it on our daily for our daily customers, all the time, every time.
So Ferris Hussein, shout out to you, brother. And you know, that's real. I don't know how genuine he is with it, but he did do it. And so, you know, shout out to him and anybody out there who's going above and beyond for your fellow man. That's been all for today's show. I hope y'all, you know, been safe out there and y'all continue to keep your, you know, you need to keep your little faucets running to keep your pipes from busting. And staying warm out there, y'all. But that's been all I got for this week, man. It's Jamerson Ballard signing off. Y'all have a nice evening and a productive week.